Is your first instinct always to fix the broken pieces of someone else's life?
You feel a strange, urgent need to be the hero in every story but your own. This is the rescuer syndrome, a beautiful heart trapped in a dangerous, self-exhausting cycle. Meet Liam. He's a professional fixer of hearts, a man who carries everyone's anchors. He thinks that by saving others, he can finally prove his own worth to the world. But beneath the cape, Liam is tired, and his own house is quietly falling apart. Why do we do this? Why is it easier to solve a stranger's crisis than our own? The truth is, rescuing others is often a sophisticated way to avoid our own pain. If I'm busy fixing your mess, I don't have to look at the shadows in my mirror. It's a noble distraction, a way to feel needed while staying emotionally hollow inside. Maybe you grew up thinking that your only value was in what you could provide. A child who learned that love is just another word for being useful to others. So you became a human bandage, always ready to stop someone else's bleeding. But you forget that a bandage is meant to be temporary, not a permanent part of the wound. You attract projects, not partners, people who need a doctor, not an equal. And when they eventually heal and walk away, you're left wondering why you feel so empty. The rescuer syndrome is a trap where the hero always ends up as the victim. You give until there is nothing left, then wonder why no one is there to save you. But here's the secret. You aren't actually looking for their gratitude or their healing. You're looking for the permission to finally exist without having to earn it first. He doesn't realize that by holding the anchor, he's preventing the other person from swimming. When you rescue someone, you often rob them of their own strength and growth. You make them dependent, and in doing so, you make yourself a prisoner of their needs. Your identity becomes so tied to being the savior that you fear being just you. Who am I if I'm not helping? You ask, staring at the ceiling at 4 a.m. The answer is terrifying because just you feels small, broken, and deeply unlovable. But that version of you, the one without the tools and the solutions, is the one that needs help. The savior needs to be saved from the exhaustion of their own false importance. Look at the people you've tried to fix. Did they ask, or did you just volunteer? Often, we invade other people's problems to feel a sense of control we lack elsewhere. It's a power dynamic disguised as kindness, a way to keep the world predictable. But life isn't a puzzle to be solved, it's an experience to be felt, even the messy parts. Liam stops. He looks at the anchor and realizes it's not his to carry anymore. The moment he lets go, the world doesn't end. It simply begins to breathe again. Setting a boundary isn't an act of cruelty, it's an act of profound self-respect. You cannot pour from an empty cup, no matter how much the world asks you to. It's time to take all that fix-it energy and turn it inward, toward your own wounds. Imagine what would happen if you treated yourself with the same empathy you give others. Imagine spending 10 minutes a day purely on your own comfort, without any guilt. Liam starts to repair the cracks in his own walls instead of painting everyone else's. He learns that he is allowed to be in progress and still be worthy of a seat at the table. The road to recovery starts with silence, the silence of not jumping in to solve it. Let the other person struggle. Let them find their own light. It's their journey. Your job is to be a witness, not a mechanic, a friend, not a life support machine. The more you fix yourself, the less you feel the need to control the outcome for others. Authentic connection happens between two whole people, not a savior and a project. Liam puts down the anchor, and for the first time, he feels light enough to fly. He realizes that he was never a hero. He was just a man hiding behind his kindness. And that's okay. Being human is enough. You don't need a cape to be valuable. We are all works in progress, navigating a world that rarely makes total sense. Leo's notes is about finding the courage to be the person who needs help sometimes. I'm just a guy who used to carry a lot of anchors that weren't mine to hold. I learned that the most important person to fix is the one looking back in the mirror. The journey from rescuer to self-guardian is the hardest one you'll ever take. But on the other side, there is a peace that no thank you could ever provide. Next time you feel that urge to jump in and save the day, just pause. Ask yourself, am I helping them or am I just running away from my own silence? Stay kind to your mind, but keep your hands on your own steering wheel. You are a person, not a solution. You are enough, just as you are. This was Leo's Notes. I'll see you in the next one.